Have you heard about the 5 love languages?
Yeah.
Look, I didn't read the book, but I listened to audiobook. My top love language is spending quality time together. Do you know what yours is?
All right. Recently, this is going to be an interesting take. I think that
Uh-huh.
love language stuff is kind of broken and capped because all of it will stem from quality time. Understanding what gift to get from someone is revolved around spending a lot of time with them. Understanding or having the ability to touch or even use a lot of words to tell someone how much you care stems from just spending a lot of time with them. You know what I mean? I think so. Everything is kind of correlated with quality time
With
almost.
quality time, I see.
I think it's like a really interesting theory, and I think people will self-identify and put into buckets. But I also think like it's like the Myers-Briggs, where I think that's also bullshit. Or like
Okay.
INTJ, ENFP, because emotions and people's states of being are so like whatever
Yeah.
fluid and
Yeah.
so contextual depending on where they are or who they're with. It could change so much. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So I 100% agree with you on that. That was one of my critiques of this love languages thing is that it changes with people over time. I 100% agree with you on that. I will say though, here's an example counter to like needing to have the quality time to determine the others. Have you ever had girls just give you gifts? Like you didn't know them too well, but they gave you gifts. Have you ever had girls do that? Like that's an example of like someone speaking that love language because that's their number one thing. So like
Yeah,
they'll just give you a gift. It's like they don't know you too well, but they just give you a gift, right? Or like I know guys will do that. They'll just give people gifts. Like I went to school with this like super ghetto kid, man. This kid named Micaiah, and
yeah.
he liked all the white girls in the school, right? So you
Oh,
always give him like stuffed animals, and the girl like no, like after he leave, they're like no, I don't want this. Like he didn't know the girls, but he would. Like so some people do express it like that. It's not like quality time was the mediator, right?
yeah, yeah.
It literally was, I want to show interest, I want to show I care, gift. It wasn't like I took time to figure out what it was, and like it's two different things, right? So that's what I would say. Like some people do really express it that way. Like I'm not a gift giving person. I don't think you are either. So maybe it's hard for us to fathom that. But like, I think about this case one time right after college. This girl like basically asked me out to dinner and gave me a fucking gift. And like in my mind, I knew this was something important, but since I don't give people gifts, I didn't realize like until I read this book about like the love language. Oh, that's how probably how she
It was.
expects to receive love, and that's how she expresses it, right? So like that's what I mean. Like it I guess it requires you to step outside the box and re-examine certain situations in your life and be like, oh, so that's what it is. Like that's one of my tensions with my mom. My mom's an active service person. Like I don't spend too much time with her, but she always tries to do things for me, and usually it's always the wrong shit. You know,
Yeah,
like part of what inspired that talk that I sent you and Vivek was that she's trying to like look up medical programs for me. That's an act of service, right? But it comes
yeah.
from the wrong place. My mom always tries to do act of service, and it would always piss me off because it always be the wrong thing. But after I read the book, I realized, oh, so that's how she expresses love, and that's how she expects to
Love. Yeah.
receive love, right? And again, it wasn't mediated through quality time, but it could have been. In fact, it probably would have been better, but chances are quality time is not something that's really high up on her list. So the quality time can't act as a mediating factor for her to express acts of service better and for her to receive acts of service better. I agree with you, but I still see validity in this.
No. What
Yeah.
you're saying definitely
Yeah,
makes.
so going back to this chick, and this is the last time I'm talking about her because just putting this to rest. But like I realized what happened was she hacked my brain, whether she knew it or not, because when I first met her, she really was showing so much interest, man. She was hacking my quality of time. And then suddenly she just kind of dropped off and ghosted, and then she would kind of reappear once in a while. And
Oh,
so like I
so like
realized that's not
little
healthy. Whether
dopamine
she
hit.
knows it or not, she's hacking my quality time. And I realized her number one love language was acts of service. She always wanted me to watch her dog. She repeatedly wanted me to watch her dog. And I get paid to watch people's dogs, right? So like
Yeah.
I'm
So
not gonna do that for you unless you're my girlfriend. So like the last straw was one time, and I didn't put two and two together until I realized what she was doing. But she wanted to watch the sunset with me, so she hit up me. But then she also mentioned she wanted me to watch her dog. But like I do capoeira around the time she suggests I watch her dog. I'm not gonna give her capoeira, especially you're not my girlfriend yet, right? So like she suddenly randomly canceled watching the sunset. And I realized because I wouldn't wash her dog. It was a very transactional type of bullshit. So I was like, I'm not dealing with this. Like, it took me a while to figure out this was going on. Like, she's trying to be transactional with this. So whether she understands love languages or not, or she just unconsciously just can hack that, she's trying to hack my brain. And so, like, I'm fucking done with this. So that's what's going on. But it related to the love languages because until I understood that, I was like, oh. And like, you think back on the situations. So you said, what was your number one thing you mentioned?
It's tough. I feel like probably touch, quality,
touch. Like, that's common, right? That's common for guys. Like, think about women who might manipulate that, you know, like they'll give you something, they'll show you that touch attention, be like, oh, can you do this to me? Or can you do this for me, by the way? Like, women will do that, right? I'm sure every guy can vouch for women who do that. So then you have to recognize it. So I'm not saying this is completely correct, the system, this like 5 love languages thing, but it gives you more tools to recognize when, one, you're being taken advantage of, or two, you're not being taken advantage of, but your mind's falling down unhealthy loops or habits or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so true. And to your point, yeah, man, when you like someone and they're giving you a little bit of what you feel like you want or need from them, it's crazy. It's like really addicting. And I get it. It's like so insane. Yeah. So I get how everyone gets caught up in that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good for you to kind of understand sometimes maybe why you snap, right? Like, imagine Karens. Like, not every Karen is just a bitch, right? A lot of them are just bitches who, you know, this is the most controversial I'm going to say in a free type of stream. Some of them, or most of them, probably bitches that were like, fuck, I should have settled down with that guy 30 years ago, but, you know, my standards are too fucking high, and now I'm a lonely cat lady, right? I think a lot of Karens are like that, but not all of them are like, maybe some of them, their number one love language is quality time. So if you waste their fucking quality time at the store because you're taking too long at the cash register, and, you know, they're in their 70s, they don't have too much time on their hands, they will get pissed off, right? Like,
I mean, I don't blame him, man.
Yeah.
I feel like just being alone with my thoughts for a little too long, I get fucking psycho and fucking happy. Can you imagine if, like, you're like, man, death is like at my fucking door. Yeah. Like, my best days are behind me. I'm all alone.
Yeah.
Like, the envy and jealousy you probably feel subconsciously is so, like, it's probably a lot, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if they live with cats, right? The issue with cats is that when your immune system gets weaker and you're not careful with the cats, they can spread a lot of things, including, I get a feeling The Last of Us was inspired by this disease. It's called Toxoplasma gondii. It's like a protist or something that, like, it literally changes your personality. Like, in rats, it makes rats approach cats. So, like, in humans, for men, it makes them more neurotic. So just more, and it makes more women more like cat lady, like,
Whoa, that's crazy. Yeah. That's so fucking scary.
Yeah. So that's why it's good to be a dog lover, right? Because but the problem is being a dog lover is like, if you're getting up there in age and you're like, you can't raise your dog well, that's abuse for the dog, right? I've seen some, like, elderly people are like that. Like, they can't even take care of themselves, and it's like their dog's all pissed off, or their dog's like unhappy, picks up on their vibe, and, you know, like, that's not good either.